Collective, what's going on? I heard in meditation, watch out. You're on the precipice of something very big. Then I heard apology. Then I heard timeline. Then I heard right time. Then I heard freedom. And now I'm hearing powerhouse of information. 33 on the clock as I said that. Krishna devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Oh my God, oh my gosh. I just saw, this is so cool. I just saw all of the masters. So just picture all these people, right? All these cards, all these masters, and they're all with their arms up in the air and they're clapping and they're celebrating. And they start out like they're in a classroom, like they're seated and they're clapping and they're raising. And then somehow they just manage to like fan out into a big circle and you're in the center of the circle. I just heard you're being watched big time. For some of you, it is physical people watching you, but source, there's someone here, like I'm seeing all of these masters, they're pulling out popcorn, like pulling up their chair to get ready to watch the show. They're having such a good time with someone or a group of someone's here that they are just, it's like whatever you're doing, you don't realize how good you are at what you're doing because if you don't have all of the answers in your mind, you feel out of sorts. But the truth is, you have been following every little thing exactly the way that you should. Everything. And even though it's felt mucky and mushy and gross because you've had all these emotions and you've had all these experiences, this is what they're showing me, all these different experiences all over. Okay. And they all seem not to be tied together at all, right? So when you're experiencing this, you're not seeing the connection of this to this, and this. You're just going through each experience, picking out nuggets of information, pieces of the puzzle, and then taking that and moving forward. But there's going to be a time, somehow, in some way, Source is bringing clarity to you about this where you are going to in a really visceral way be able to see how it's like you're going to be able to look back in tunnel vision and hindsight like you're in a tunnel and you're going to be able to visibly and like emotionally connect and see how everything actually was like every insignificant experience that looks like they completely have nothing to do with each other, how they all really were tied to each other. And you doing this one at this particular time, you completing this one at a certain time, you completing this one at a certain time, all of that had to happen in a specific order. 333 had to happen in a specific order. You couldn't have done this one and then this one because it's closer and then went to this one. You had to go through this experience, then this experience, then this experience in that order. Because when Source took you through those experiences, it cooked up emotional set points inside of you that helped you gain a perspective and helped you know which way to move. So it was important that these experiences came in a certain order so that it triggered the right mindset and the right emotional set point inside of your body to propel you to the next one to keep you going in a good way. So while you think you're not doing well, you don't understand what Source is doing, you don't need to worry about what they're doing because you're already following the guidance and it's perfection. Your devotion, if you find yourself ever saying, I'm giving up, I don't care about this, I'm going to just do something else, that's you having an emotional reaction in that moment. Your devotion is tied to your heart, it's tied to your intuition. And they're saying, even when you have said things like that out of just discomfort, you've never strayed. Your devotion has never strayed. And you know why? Your heart is too involved and too enmeshed with something that's really important to you. And whatever this is, it's a mission of all missions. They want me to take that back. It is big, it is important, it's a mission of all missions, but they don't want you viewing it that way. Because when you view something as like the holy grail, like, you got your big old cup here, your cute little coconuts. Can you see my little coconuts? Um, I went to a little painting class and did that. That was so cute. Um, you don't want to do it like that. If you try to look at something like it's the holy grail, then you tend to think you're not good enough for it. So they want you to look at it like it's just natural, next logical step. And that that keeps you from becoming too afraid of taking the next step. So while it's good to see the big picture, if you for somebody here, if you focus on that big picture too much, okay. So I'm just going to give an example because it came to my mind. I'm a newer artist, I'm trying to learn all this stuff. So let's just say I'm shown my big old art museum, and I'm shown all of my paintings and my sculptures and all of these interactive things and all of these cool things I'm going to be doing, and I literally can't draw a circle perfectly right now, right? That's where I'm at. But then I see that if I'm over here focusing on lines and circles, and then I don't feel like I'm beating myself up about that, and then I'm thinking about how am I getting to the museum, how am I getting to my own gallery full of all of these beautiful things worth millions of dollars, and I can't even do this. That's where looking at the big picture shoots you in the foot. Because if you're trying, like, you have the big picture, you know where you're going. But if you're focusing on the big picture while you're trying to take a step towards the big picture, and that step has triggered some type of emotional response inside of your body, it's just showing you that you need to work on that emotional trigger, that emotional response, and then it helps you move forward. You can get from here to here in the matter. I mean, they're telling me it's not like you don't need to look at this as time, as this being like, linear, as in time. You don't need to look at it that way. You want to look at it like it's an emotional jump. It's an emotional jump. So when you're looking at the big picture, you're doing something small, like you have the big picture and you're drilling it down to the nitty gritty, that little task that you're doing today that contributes to the whole. This little task you're doing today that contributes to the whole. This little task you're struggling with. All right. It's the task that you're struggling with, that little task. It's not the entire big picture that you need to give up on. It's the little task that you're working through. That's where they're telling me people are getting hung up there, where they're thinking about the big picture, and they're doing the daily thing. And then when they can't do it, they think the whole thing's falling apart. When really it's just about you needing to practice and work on one skill here. Okay. And then go to the next and the next, the next, the next. So there's a pattern of something going on like that here. And they just want you to know that's where um, someone here tends to get a little heady. You get too much in your head and say it's too stressful. I want to get up. I just want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. What's the point? Those types of things. That's because you're focusing on too much of the big picture, and they need you to dial it back. Go general. Focus on how you want to feel. Today I want to feel frisky. Today I want to feel energetic. Today I want to feel excited. Today I want to feel happy. Today I was, oh my God, I was going to say today I want to feel horny. Oh shit, that was hilarious. It almost slipped out and I still said it. Okay. One card and all that came out in 9 minutes. Good Lord. Lady Portia. There's a lot of purple. Psychic. So, you're getting your crown chakra here. So, they want you to focus on what feels right. An important lesson is unfolding right now. Now, I'm going to share just a little bit of an experience that I had just to give you an idea of something that's working out. So, Source told me to do something months ago. Like, I'm talking April. And it didn't seem that important. It just did. It seemed insignificant, so I kept putting it off, putting it off, and things were getting worse. Things started to go awry, and I'm like, "Why are they going awry when I'm doing?" And then I got to a point. I'm like, I'm frustrated. That's it. screw it. I'm going to go get a job. I'm going to work outside of the house too. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do something else that I'm doing. And so, mind you, they told me to do this thing months ago, April, and I just kept kind of flicking it away like it wasn't that important. And to me, it didn't hit my heart like it was, oh, it wasn't like that for me. It was a very soft, just kind of subtle, and it did come back, and it did come back. And I even had somebody even say this to me, like kind of request that I do this, and I didn't. Um, and then I got tired of it, and I had one of my fuck this shit moments a few, like 3.5, 4 weeks ago. So I call and I set up an interview, I get a job. So, you got to apply for the jobs, and you got to get the interview, and then you got to have your start date, and then you have to do the job. So remind you, I'm doing this, and we're about 4 weeks in from when I started this whole process. And it has been hell for me because what I was doing is something that I loved, and now I'm having to do something that I don't love at all. And when I go in, I'm wadded up, I don't feel good. And it's been awful few weeks, right? And yesterday, I think I even mentioned it in the beginning of my video because it's been stressful. And so last night, I decided to watch a movie with my daughter, a Hallmark Christmas movie, to try to chill out. And I was just bawling my eyes out all night long. It was just big crocodile tears falling out of my face. It's the type of cry where you just couldn't stop it, even if you tried. If somebody was in front of you and you needed to, like, pull yourself together, there was no pulling myself together. It was just coming. It was just like I would feel them touch. They do that. They touch my big toe, and then the dam will break and the tears will fall. They do it all the time. Like if I'm holding resistance, I will feel them grab my toe, and then it's just like the dam will break. That kept happening all night last night. And then finally I went and took a drive last night, and I heard them. They came up and through my body, and they said, "We're so sorry you're hurting." And I was bawling my eyes out still, right? I come home. They tell me to go to bed. They want to talk to me. I was too upset to talk to them, so I didn't talk to them. I woke up this morning. I was feeling all wadded up inside about this whole situation still, no solution, feeling, trapped. And immediately I go into meditation, and they caught me, boom, right away. I just went right into it. And they told me, this job, you're doing a great job at this job. You just don't like the work that you're doing. And now that you are doing, since you've been doing something that you really love, and now you're doing something that you don't love, you're feeling the discord in that. But you're doing a great job. If you don't want to do it, do this. And then immediately it was like, think about experiencing your worst anxiety attack, like the worst moment of anxiety that you've ever had in your belly, where it's all wadded up and your chest is wadded up. And then think about your most peaceful experience. It literally went from that to this most peaceful experience within 2 seconds. It was automatic. And immediately I heard my inner being say, this is you being in agreement with your inner being. This idea that we just gave you, and it was peace. Nothing, my whole body just washed over with this delicious peace. This is what you should do. And then they told me the details of how this would replace this. And mind you, they said this to me back in April. April. And it literally took me going through months of things getting a little worse and a little worse, to the point that for the last 3-4 weeks, I've been so wadded up with this that now this idea that was insignificant in April all of a sudden has become my saving grace. So it literally took that experience of showing me. So because here's what I said afterwards, like, why didn't you guys just tell me to do this before? And they're like, hello, we've been telling you this for months, since April. Hello. Just teasingly, they were saying it in a funny way. But that's what I'm telling you guys. When they tell you something, and they tell you and it seems insignificant, and you don't take that advice, then things tend to get more stressful. Things tend to get worse emotionally. You get wadded up. And then, like I did, and then I got a job. I got another job. I'm not liking this job at all. And here I am. I got a solution, but the solution was the same thing that they told me in April. So I had to go through all of those experiences first in order for me to make that shift. That is what keeps happening with people. They keep getting the messages. They keep getting told, do this, go this way, do this, go this way, try this, go this way. but we're not really doing all of it. So then we're not getting the next step. And then we get frustrated when something doesn't work out. So all that to say, they're giving you the guidance, but they will take you through experiences. They, if like another example, another really good one, let's just say you're going after some job at an airport, like it's your dream job. You want to work at an airport. I don't know, I'm just saying that. You want to work there for whatever reason, you can't get on there. It's years and years and years, and you're trying, you can't get on there. That's going to be frustrating. So you keep getting other little jobs in between there. Those other little jobs that come in between, those other little experiences, are tied to that airport job that you want. You just don't know it yet. The reason they're tied to that is because there's emotional experiences that you have to have here and practice now, because you're going to have those emotional experiences here on a daily basis. And if you have no experience with how to navigate through these emotional experiences yet, and you get this job, it would go away. So Source has to take you through this and this and this, and emotionally and mentally and physically prepare you so that when you get the big thing, you can sustain it. It doesn't fall away. All right. Okay, they want one more here. And there it is. Kadumi. All right. Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. I just heard someone here is really good with mediumship. Like you're a badass medium and you don't even know it. And you're not going to know it until you put yourself out there. That's interesting because I am now I'm seeing somebody that's like sitting down creating spreadsheets. And I'm hearing, ooh, numbers, numbers. I love numbers. Like financial spreadsheets. Create something. There's something here where somebody likes, you like to. There's somebody that likes to set up businesses. Like you like to set them up. That's where you get your joy. Someone likes to set things up and then sell them off and then do it again. Set it up and then sell it off. Um, they want to point out that's a really, 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 really good skill to have, but you're about to start something up that is going to be something sustainable that you don't want to let go of. So when this happens and you start to have emotional conflict about when you find yourself, because they're telling me whoever this is right now, it's just like automatic, you just do it and it feels good, but you're going to come to a point where you start something up and you don't want to, you kind of hem haw that decision. You're like, I don't know if this is the right time. I don't know if this is the right time. When you find yourself constantly hesitating over, selling this business, it's because you really want to keep this one. It's because you really want to invest in this one. And Source is asking you to listen to that, because the momentum is that you start companies up, you sell them, and then you start up and you sell them. But so the momentum is going to be there where you want to start it up and sell it, but your emotions are going to say, no, we want to keep this one. We want to keep this one. So they want you to consider that change. Consider keeping it, because they're saying there is a chance, just out of habit, that you may just get up and sell it just because it's habit, just because it's normal, and then regret it. So for whoever that is, take that advice. I'm seeing somebody pinching themselves. Like pinching. What's the pinching about? Pinching yourself off from your desires. So picture this like a straw, right? You're up here, your desires are down here. You want your desires from down here to come up here. Well, if you're having resistance, this is going to be pinched in half. You're not going to be able to bring it up to the top. When you're okay, somebody here, when you're focusing on your desires and you feel anxious about it, you feel angst, you feel Like a pissy pants. That's so funny. I just heard pissy pants. Okay. They want you to focus on something else entirely, not the desire at all. Like they want you to get off the subject to go do something different. When in doubt, go work out. That type of stuff. Like whatever it is that's really frustrating you, um they want you to focus on something else entirely. Focusing on a problem with your desire too long is only going to make the problem bigger. Focusing on something else is going to allow your vibration to raise and allow the answer to slip in. So let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Strategy. Okay. All right. So they want me to point something out here. With the Seven of Swords and the King of Pentacles, I heard strategy, like you're strategizing. Source is saying, like, maybe you look at others who have what you want or do what you want to do somehow or whatever it is, and you think, well, they did it through A, B, and C. Why do I have to do this way? This seems backwards. I feel like you're taking me away from the progress. You're not taking me towards what I want. You're taking me away from what I want. Source wants you to know you were meant to do something where you are progressing, but you were looking like you were not progressing. And it was a safety tactic on Source's part. It's just you don't really know people's true colors and true intentions when big money becomes involved, as the truth. And that's what I'm getting here. Like, there's just people in your life right now that you trust, where if you had a lot of money you would not be able to trust them. And there's people in your life right now that you think you can't trust, that if you had a lot of money you would be able to trust them. You see what I mean? It's like somehow money really screws with people's head to the point where wherever you whatever it is that you're doing, you are progressing, but to the world it may not look that way. And it's meant to be that way. It's purposely designed that way so that when it something does pop off, the roots are so deep, these people can't come in and take it away from you, right? Like they had to make sure you looked a certain way. That's why they had the Seven of Swords over the King of Pentacles. I couldn't even see him, right? Couldn't even see him. That's what they're saying, that you can't be seen yet. Something about not being able to be seen for safety reasons. All right, they're showing like your body, and they're showing all these hands just like grabbing and pawing at you. And that's what would be if you were to receive your blessings before you're ready to have some type of shift in your life. If you were to receive that, it's almost like you have to receive this and other things simultaneously in order for something to work out safely, opposed to if you were to receive the money now and then this later and then this later. These later things would not happen the way that they should, because if you got the money first, then you are going to have all these people pawing at you in your energy, in your way, stressing you out, taking away your time, taking away your resources. So you, just because you feel like you're going backwards, or you like that's what it is. Someone here, it's almost like you're able to see yourself the way others see you, like from the outside looking in. When you view your life, like I'm a single mother of three with no job and this da, 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 da. On the outside looking in, that's how you may look to other people. I'm a single father, I'm a whatever it is, like from the outside looking in, there's all these labels. But that's not what's happening at all. Everything has been built under the surface. You notice these pentacles, they're in the ground, but they're full of color. Do you notice that? I've never said that before. They're full of color. So everything that you've been building is like it's been hidden underground, and it's going to come up to the surface. And as you've been growing, as you've been like planting your seeds and really investing in this, it's just a natural progression in your emotional intelligence. Just as an example, it's like when you started your journey, you came across as like somebody with the emotional capacity of a 2-year-old. And then after a little bit of healing, it's like you have the emotional capacity of a 27-year-old. And then after more healing, you have the emotional capacity of a wise old soul. So that's what I'm getting here. The more that you put in work and you progressed, it naturally helped you grow emotionally. So while you there's like it's like you're naturally healing your emotions as you go. There's nothing else you need to figure out how to do right now. Right now, I just heard right now is about saving face. Being aware of the truth that surrounds you, like the situations, like be aware what this person's doing, be aware what this person's doing, be aware, notate it in your mind, and just kind of, it's like almost like this is the time where you get to just observe people and know what they're doing and like how they're what their part is in your life instead of being engaging with them. They don't, that's what they're wanting. That's what this emotional intelligence is bringing you. It's helping you step outside of yourself and see circumstances and people for what they truly are, where before you weren't able to do that clearly. This is interesting. You have cloak of wisdom. You already know the answers you seek, and then you have the 4 of cups, where you're being offered all of this delicious energy, full of color, robust, fun, clarity, truth, freedom, abundance, joy, all the things that you want. And it's coming in those little moments, those little day-to-day things like I talked about, like how I said source told me to do something back in April and I thought it was insignificant and little and I kept pushing it off. It's like that. That's what is happening. There's a lot of little things you could be doing right now that's getting pushed off. Those little things are going to completely transform your life. Those are the things they want you to focus on right now. Okay? So that's where we're going to leave it. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.